in the profile in a whole day, diurnal variations you can got. But this is, you need a skilled manpower for that. Or you need a one-time investment. Later on, there is less investment, only on operational maintenance. Next, please. Then there are two approaches again in the analytical methodology. Either you go for the activated charcoal or you go for TNAX or chromazole. Well, means two major type of adsorbents. Then processing, solvent extraction or thermal desorption. Then separation by gas chromatography, FID or mass spectrometry. Next, please. I explain one by one. This is passive sampling. This is called passive sampler. This is nothing but activated charcoal in a glass tube kept in a bottle to avoid the contamination. And these are manufactured by standard companies, and you can buy them, and then you take these to the field. Next, please. And you place these tubes inside these shelters in the field, anywhere in the roof or wherever you want. Next, please. After a period of 2 weeks, you collect those samplers, bring to the lab, broke these glass tubes, take out this adsorbed material here and put CS2, carbon disulfide, 1 ml, measured quantity, then put for some time in the ultrasonication bath and then take it out, or you can just swirl and then keep it for some time for until supernatant is clear, and then you can directly inject into the GCFID. Next, please. This is the calculation of the passive sampling, because you don't know what is the flow rate. So there are some dimension based and some constant based calculations. You have to calculate how much air has been passed through those passive sampler, and these are provided by those standard companies, and you have to utilize in this formula. D is desorption efficiency and U is the uptake rate of the benzene, toluene, xylene or whatever compound from air by the adsorbent, and then T is the time you have exposed for that time, and then you can calculate the concentration in normal meter cube using this formula. Next, please. Then active sampling. Active sampling is nothing but forced sampling using some low flow pump. So you can use either again activated charcoal tube, or you can use thermal desorption tubes filled with TNAX and chromazole. We had a lot exercise on these adsorbent also, and we have finally concluded and find these two adsorbent very suitable if they are used in series. First you use TNAX, and then followed by TNAX you use chromazole 106, and they will cover most of the VOCs in the air. And either you can use FID or you can use GCMS. Next, please. Next, please. Yes, low volume sampler are now available, and I am happy that now Envirotech has come up with one VOC sampler that is nothing but low flow sampler, and this you have to maintain the flow from 20 milliliter to 200 ml. It should not exceed more than 200 milliliter. Otherwise, your compound of interest will not be adsorbed properly. Then sampling sorbent tubes are readily available, or you can even fabricate through some glassware fabricator. Next, please. This is the Envirotech organic vapor. Earlier they have 850, now they have improvised it, and this is APM 856 now, and this is satisfying our requirements. So you can now easily buy these in India itself without investing more money and more time to get them. Next, please. and this looks like this. This is the suction tube. You have to put your adsorbent tube here in series, 2 tubes, and then you have to set the flow rate, desired flow rate. You can set from here. Next, please. And these are some ready-made tubes available. This is stainless steel tube. This is glass tube, and these are capped. And you have to take out these caps only in the field. If you are using thermal desorption, you have to use I told you the Tenax and the chromazone, and those tubes need preconditioning before the sampling, so that there is nothing inside adsorbed. After conditioning, you can take them to field. Next, please. Then sampling procedure, mainly you have to take the, this earlier we used 20 to 30 ml, but later on we found that you can do up to 200 ml. But if concentration is high at any place, then you can have lower flow rates, like 20 to 30 milliliter. Next, please. Then gas chromatography, FID you can use, and you have to use, here I will just caution, you have not to use packed column. You cannot get the accurate result with the packed column, so you have to use capillary column, and its length should be at least 25 meter or 30 meter or even better than that. And best column I found is 624 for the VOCs or benzene, toluene, xylene. And then you have to carry out the calibration before the sample analysis. That you always keep in mind. Either you plot manually the graphs, calibration graph, or nowadays instrument also have calibration system. So you can directly use that. Next, please. This is the thermal desorber, looks like. These are those tubes, thermal desorber tubes you can put on the auto sampler. There is here pneumatic arm which takes one tube at a time, uncap it automatically, and then nitrogen is passed through bottom, and this all adsorbent material pass through another adsorption tube here. There is another trap here, and it goes into that another tube at minus 30 degree temperature. So there is no loss also of the sample because of the minus temperature. And then you can program it, and at very fast rate, say like 250 degree Celsius per second, at that rate you can raise the temperature so that it directly goes or transferred to the GC column. It is connected to the GC column. Next, please. This coupling or attachment looks like this. This is that same instrument, ATD here, and this is a transfer line from this ATD to the GC. This is GC, and this is mass spectrometer. So this is the coupling you can have ATD, GC, MS. But if you don't have this, there is no problem. You can do simply by with carbon disulfide desorption and then injection to simply GC, FID. So there is no need of worry. Okay, and you know the GC, MS has a very specificity for the detection of these compounds because of the primary ion formation or fragmentation of the molecules, and then measuring their mass and charge ratio. So then you can, and then it also matches with the library present in the mass. So you can confirmatively say that this is this compound. You can match the spectra also. Next, please.